Okay, reset?
I'm ready.
Reset?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, ayo, what up? My name is Nathan Su, swimmer, geek, socialite, and podcaster now. Well, I'm here joined by my friend Andrew Minky.
I'm a swimmer and a geek too.
Mm-hmm.
I am not nearly as social, but I enjoy talking to people, and I'm excited to meet exciting people like Mrs. Zhu.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
make sure to smash or demolish whatever you want to do to that like button. Just do something to it. And hit us with a sub so you can get notified every time we drop. We're dropping every Sunday. And we got some interesting guests coming up. But here today we got Mama Zoo. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. It might be kind of boring. But no. Today we're really going to unwrap how my pretty ordinary mom, I guess, like looking from the outside, she's pretty ordinary, has got some pretty extraordinary stories.
Yeah, just a mom of 4 kids.
Mm-hmm. So, many people might not know, or I guess they can guess, but you grew up in China.
Yes,
you
I
didn't
was
live here.
born, grew up until age 22, and I came here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and growing up in China, so it was like 1980s, right? You're born
I was born 1973.
1973.
Right. So
Yeah.
I grew up and all the way to college.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from college.
Yeah, so you
all my life,
lived
right,
basically your
mostly.
whole entire childhood in
Yes,
China.
exactly.
And so I know when you're growing up in China, like the wealth we experience in America today just isn't even comparable to how China was where you lived in 1973 to when you were growing up. So really, can you just describe how poor really like were you and your family
You mean
exactly?
the life
Yeah.
when I was born and grew
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
Like-
that was, well, of course, when I was born, the life back then was very different from the life right now.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. When I was born in 1973, it's interesting that you may not even imagine. Right here, you can go to the grocery store, buy whatever you want to buy. Well, China right now is the same thing. But when I was born in 1973, for the next probably like 15 years, no, 20 years actually, 19 years, you cannot buy any food without a stamp, like permit stamp. For example, you're a guy like you in your family.
Okay.
You're only allowed to eat 27 pounds of grain, which means like rice or flour.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only allowed to eat half ounce of oil the whole month, one adult.
Wait, so
How many calories is that?
Yeah.
Well, people don't care about calories in China, okay? Because it's not enough calories.
You're saying like you're only allowed to do that.
Exactly.
Is that like from the government or like
yes,
just how much?
exactly. Perfect.
Really?
You're smart. The government issued every family a ticket
Wow.
per person,
Uh-huh.
and you can only allow to bring that ticket. Even if you have money, doesn't matter. You cannot buy food with money.
So
you
it's
have to
literally
bring money.
like a paper ticket.
Exactly, paper ticket to the grocery store. Well, it's not called grocery store, but it's kind of like store to buy anything like meat, vegetables, oil, grain, rice, flour. Everything needs a ticket. Even TV. Everything needs a ticket.
But you still were able to get meat and stuff?
Oh, you can, but it's very limited, like oil. We can only have like 1 ounce of oil per month, max. So, but when I grew up, it's funny. My mom just told me this. Your grandma just told me this. When they cook, they never use oil because everyone has only 1 ounce of oil per month, right? If you cook it with it, I use probably 1 ounce every meal when I cook. Okay, because when I was the firstborn in my family, and my dad spoiled me to death. So they never cook with oil. They save all the oil they have, the cooking oil they have, like 1 ounce per person per family per month. And then they save for like a jar, save in the jar, they buy every month. And then, cause I love eat one type of food in China is called deep fried
Chicken,
stick.
rice?
No, deep fried stick. We call it youtiao. Nathan loves it.
That's just like bread, like
Deep
dipped
fried.
in oil.
Exactly.
And it's
Some
like
people
crispy
have it,
bread.
Exactly, crispy bread.
It's kind of like
a stick.
It's kind of like a breadstick or something.
Yeah,
except
actually,
not.
McDonald's start to have it right now.
Right.
McDonald's breakfast start to have those. We call it youtiao in China. I love that. But think about deep fried. How much oil you need, right?
Yeah.
So my parents save it for months in order to make me a you tell me.
So what was what was that day then? Like, did you look forward to it and it was like pre-planned like a week ahead?
Absolutely. The best day we look forward to is New Year, Chinese New Year. On that day, we can have a feast. You know, we can have chicken, fish. All the other days, you know, especially for me, because I was at that time I was the only child in my house. My brother was born, you know, years later. So they saved everything for me. So I had enough food. But my dad, he never ate oil. He got basically no oil. So he was so skinny. And then when my brother was born, when he went to the preschool pick up my brother. And they told my brother's name is Minghui, your grandpa is here to pick you up. Because he was so skinny, his face was full of wrinkles. So they thought he was my brother's grandpa. And then after, you know, a couple years, actually the things start to get better when I was in second year in college.
But so like up to that, your family literally didn't have enough food to be healthy. Like,
well, that's absolutely right. Yes, you can keep alive. We can still stay alive.
And,
well, actually, you know, speaking of that, we stay alive, and for me, I can stay healthy because my parents save the food for me. But for my brother, for my mom, for my dad, they have to eat like vegetables all the time. They probably eat like meat once a month or something. So, because you know, that's limited salary. Because my dad.
Yeah, but you said earlier that the government gives you food through their stamps and whatever.
No, so they give us a permit.
They give you a permit,
and then you have to purchase it.
Exactly, not like food stamp here. Food stamp, we call it food stamp. If you translate that, we call it 粮票. To English, it's called food stamp. But food stamp here is you give to people who are poor, who needs food, right?
I get that.
But you don't have to have money.
No,
that's all the money.
That.
That's the money. But here in China back then it's a permit. You still have to use money to purchase.
But so a permit lets you buy food.
Exactly.
Did some people not get permits?
Everyone has permit, but that's limited. You can only have like 1 ounce of oil per month. That's it. No more.
Do different people have different permits?
I think male has a little bit more, I think, of a rice and flour permit, but for oil, it's the same.
Okay.
So, you know, think about life back then, like eggs, meat. Maybe male. I think male has a little bit more because male is more. But female, a little less. Kids, less.
So you still buy the food using your own salary. Who?
Yes.
So both mom and dad worked for you.
Yeah,
right?
but my dad's salary was I think 57 Chinese yuan divided by 6.4. So how is that?
What do you mean divided?
Per month. That's the rate. 57 yuan.
Oh, $10. You did
57 yuan divided by 6. Yes.
$10 a month.
Per month.
So that'd be $10 a month. And inflation and stuff, so like what, maybe like 20 reasonably through like 50 years, that's $20 a month.
Yeah, it's very limited. Plus, the reason why my family were kind of in a little tight budget, because I got sick very easily when I was young. They had to bring me to the hospital all the time. And every single trip cost money. So by probably 10 days before my dad started to have the paycheck, where we were completely out.
What did he work as?
What?
What did he work as? What was he?
Oh, actually, he's a engineer. He has one back then in China with college degree was really rare. My dad even had a college degree as an engineer.
A month.
So he wasn't
for many years
rice farmer. He wasn't.
No.
He didn't clean up the floor or whatever.
No,
he was a college graduate, which is super hard in China. Engineer, $10 a month.
Exactly.
Can't even buy enough food to not be super skinny.
That's right. And he was an expert to, you know, the coal mine. He was the one who decided to dig or not, to explore or not. So he was a very good engineer. Even after years he retired, he still
was he really smart?
He was very smart. Yeah.
Like really smart.
He's really smart. Yeah.
I heard.
Think about how. You probably won't imagine how hard to get into college back then.
How many people got into college?
The chance when my dad was in college, probably I would say less than 1%.
It's like one out of 100 people could get into
college. Yeah, in his village, probably 1 out of 1,000.
If you don't get into college, then what? You're screwed. Kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna be a farmer. Yeah.
You can be a farmer.
Yeah. like from a village my dad
Uh-huh.
grew up. If you actually all the whole village, my dad came out as a college grad, and his brother ran away
Wow.
from house because someone was trying to kill him. He ran away.
Really?
Yeah, he
How'd
ran
that
away.
happen?
Yeah, wait
Well,
a second.
He was in a fight, so
He was in a fight.
yeah, and then he got in trouble with the local, like, what do you call,
Gang.
gangsters, and then they were trying to kill him. So,
Wow. So how big was this village? Is this like a whole city?
oh, it's
'Cause
all our
village-
village. No, it's in China. All village has the same last name. So my maiden name is YU.
How many people?
Probably I would say a couple hundred. Not that many.
Oh, okay. So there's gangs in a couple hundred
Oh
villages.
yeah, everywhere. Yeah, of course. We call it 地头蛇. That means like gangsters in the local local village. So he ran away, and then he became he joined the army in China.
Okay.
So he went out, and then he was helping my dad. That's one of the reasons why my dad was able to go to school in a not in a small village, but a little bigger village, like in the county. So he took him out, and then he took his younger brother, my younger uncle, out as well. So all their So this uncle was the second in the family. And then all the rest came out with him. But his older brothers, because they were old already, so they all stay in a village.
I'm curious, what did so it's your dad's brother. What did he do to piss off all those people so much?
I can ask my cousin.
Okay.
They're all in China right now. And actually my uncle, the second uncle, he's still alive. He is probably 100 years old right now.
Wow.
He joined the I think it's the Vietnam War.
Wow, as a soldier?
Korean War, I think Korean War. I forgot which war he went.
Okay.
But remember I went to DC with Megan. We went to the war memorial, and the tour guide asked, "Do you have anyone who were in this war, like the relatives? Raise your hand." I wouldn't raise my hand because my uncle was in the other side.
Yeah, I remember actually. Yeah, because we have huge memorials in Washington D.C. because those wars were terrible wars for the United States. And I remember the tour guide was like, "Yeah, raise your hand if you have like an old relative, a veteran that was a veteran, thinking that they fought for the United States military." I remember my mom; she was just like grinning to the side, not saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have a relative, but they fought for the enemy.
Right. So that's basically the life. And the way I talk about my life, I grew up in China that was poor, but when we have chance, in the future, if you want to know, you're interested, my parents' generation was even so poor. And you just give you one example. My mom's uncle has 5 sons. They all starved to death.
Wow.
In the 1960s, because Chairman Mao was having some kind of policy.
And that's something I want to talk about too, Chairman Mao. So if you all didn't know, China's communist, has been communist for a while, but it wasn't always communist. When did that happen?
It's 1949. The Communist Party took power.
Okay.
And they defeated Jiang Jieshi, and then they ran away to Taiwan. Right.
Yeah. So the good people ran to Taiwan.
Well,
basically.
You can't say good
Can't
or
say
bad.
good. Okay.
Just different parties.
Okay, but the communists came in, and then everything went to crap.
Communists were always there. They were there. They were just not in power.
Okay.
And they took the power in 1949.
But is that like the turning point, kind of? Has it all?
Yeah, that is the turning point.
And
that's the starting point of China to become a communist country.
Okay, and I guess going back to your dad also, you haven't told me much about it. I guess my grandpa.
Yeah, grandpa.
I mean, I saw him like once or twice. I think when I visited China, I was like 1 and 5 maybe, like 3 months old and 5 years old or something.
Right. Yeah.
I saw him twice, and then he passed away like when I was 8.
Yeah, when you were young. Yes.
Yeah, when I was young also. Never really talked to him. Like I couldn't really speak Chinese that well.
You could, but you were too young. Yeah, to talk to him.
He couldn't speak English. And
I think I passed away. He passed away when you were 6.
Oh yeah, but so when he was younger, or when you were a kid, is that right that you said he was like an anti-communist rebellion leader?
First of all, my dad never joined the Communist Party.
Yeah.
He's never joined.
Okay.
But maybe you think it's okay. Well, I'm not a communist party. I didn't never join. It's normal, right? No, in China, it is an honor to join the Communist Party.
Really?
Say in my college, that was my college is one of the top colleges. It's kind of like MIT level college in America. So only 1 or 2 students in my class have the privilege to be able to join the Communist Party in college. They have to pick the best students. Yes, it's like the class president is able to join the Communist Party. Otherwise, no, you're not good enough.
And for those people, like, was it just like a title, like, I want to be part of it so I can have this power, this money? Or did they actually believe that the Communist Party was a good thing to be a part of?
I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't know if people really believe in it. Because if a student becomes a Communist Party member in college, I think he or she will have a brighter future to land a good job, maybe government job.
So it's more of like an opportunity.
I would think so. Yeah, how much they believe or how much I believe. Oh, of course, I never joined. Because the thing
Could
is,
you have joined?
I probably am not that good enough. Okay. Plus, I have no interest because from the time I grew up, I have no interest in 2 things. One is politics, one is history. So I have no interest. So and whenever I have a social study class, which is politics class or history, I always study English because I love English. So I don't know if other people believe it. I don't believe it because I never learned. I don't even know what it is. For me, it's a name. For me, it's just a name. It doesn't mean anything. It's a name. Like, oh, okay, you're invited to join the Communist Party. Oh, what an honor.
But weren't you like brainwashed almost, kind of, to think that the Communist Party was like heaven?
Well, that's actually
Chairman Mao was like God.
That's a very good question. Think about it. I was born in 1973.
Yeah.
But Chairman Mao died in 1976.
Oh, okay.
So I was only 3 years.
Well, whoever was chairman was God.
But like my mom, your grandma's generation.
Okay.
Chairman Mao started a event. It's called 10 Years Cultural Revolution. If you've ever heard of it. In this 10 years, for example, your teachers in high school, you can beat them up.
Really?
You don't have to go to school.
You can beat up your teachers?
Yes, you can beat up teachers and then hand a little.
Interesting.
What do you call that again? You make stuff and hang on your neck with
like
a
name.
Necklace? No, a
pendant.
A big board, right? Like you are a pig or something like this.
Oh, like graffiti, like slandering. Something.
Yeah, slandering. Okay. But they hand on the teacher's neck.
On the teacher.
And then let the teacher kneel down on the stand and then beat the teacher up.
So they're torturing them.
Students become like quote soldiers. Okay, like soldiers. Okay. And they are soldiers. They can fight anything that's we call it, people who have degrees, like in college, we call it intellectuals.
Yeah,
right?
Intellectuals. Yeah.
In the 10-year revolution, Cultural Revolution time, all the intellectuals were tortured. They were sent to the rural area to farm, to feed the pigs, to feed the animals.
So basically, he just took all the smart people and killed them. Not killed them, but
some are killed.
Some are killed.
Yes. Or prevented them from getting powerful positions.
I think so. I think the mindset behind him is afraid of the intellectuals.
I see.
He's
afraid.
To when people have knowledge, they think, right? So when they think, then trouble comes because they will realize, oh, okay, something Chairman Mao has done is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
He's scared.
He wants his own power, more powerful. So he started this 10 years revolution time. So that's why in this 10 years, for example, if someone was in say 5th grade, okay, after 10 years, how old? 10 years. So 5th grade, that will be
I don't know,
10, right? 10, right? So basically 10 years is the whole high school, middle school time, right? Plus some of the elementary school. Okay. So in that 10 years, nobody got chance to go to school to learn anything.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? So that is why in China right now there was a break, like broken generation.
So 10 years of people who just didn't know anything.
Exactly. Some like some of my cousins, but that's really, really rare. And they really want to learn. And so they tried to collect textbooks and back books, physics, but they learned on their own.
And that was really illegal?
That's legal. No one cares. But how many are going to do it?
Yeah.
That's why one of your friends, I was saying, Ling's dad, 10-year revolution ended on 1976 when Chairman Mao died.
Wow.
Okay? And Ling's dad went to college in 1979.
Okay.
So think about, he got, at that couple years, people who could go to college were those who really want to learn.
Wow.
But now,
Ling's dad. So this isn't like 100 years ago, guys. This is like,
it's not 100 years ago.
This is probably, I don't know, if you have any Asian friends, their parents went through this.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And got through it.
Exactly.
So, like, moving on from that kind of, me saying they got here.
They came here.
They came here
to America.
Yeah, how'd you get here?
Oh, to speak of that, I have to mention another person. After Chairman Mao died, one person got into power a very short period of time, and then we call it President Deng Xiaoping.
Okay.
You probably never heard of it, but he's very famous.
Okay.
President Deng Xiaoping came into power, became the president of China. We don't call him chairman anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We call him president, like President Xi Jinping. We don't call him Chairman Xi Jinping, right?
Okay.
So look at the name. The reason why in early 90s they took away all those restricted food stamp because in early 80s, Deng Xiaoping started an event or revolution. We have to say that it's called reform and opening. So that's when China started to communicate with the world. Okay? So people are allowed. They were allowed. Before that, people were not even allowed to go to America.
Did you know America was like much better place still?
Oh, no. They thought America was terrible. People were living
so
in the
So that kind of reminds me of like North Korea, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like North Korea.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
They brainwashed people. U.S. was the country like full of like hell. People were living in a terrible life. No food, no clothes.
Like worse than how you all were.
Oh, exactly. So they felt sympathetic to the people in the U.S. because they were living in such a terrible condition.
Yeah.
But after Deng Xiaoping said, "Okay, our country needs to change," because we know people in our country.
And how long was he president though?
Oh, he's been a long time. He started the revolution.
You said he was short time.
No, someone in between Chairman Mao and President Deng Xiaoping. There was another person called Hua Guofeng, but he's not. But President Deng Xiaoping started this reform and opening. So he opened up the world. Basically, he opened China to the world, opened Chinese to the world.
And then, but not everyone, so he opened it up, but still, obviously not everyone could just hop up and get out of there and go to China.
Go to America.
Go to America.
Right.
And was the main spot America, really? Like, everyone wanted to go to America, not like
at that time,
Britain or something?
At that time, most people came here for school.
School, yeah.
Because the reason why they came for school, because school here want Chinese.
Yeah,
because a lot of Chinese there, of course, very smart, very hardworking people. Yep. And research here need hardworking people, need smart people. So they actually, one side is the professors here or colleges here want to recruit people from China. And Chinese want to come here because they know when Deng Xiaoping opened the world, the trade, he started the trade of the China to other countries. And people know that, okay, this technology, this research science in the Western world are actually a lot more advanced than what we have right now.
Yeah.
So China started to open up all kinds of tests like TOEFL, GRE. They even have other tests. That was probably older than I know. So they start to take the test, and then the colleges here, the universities here, pick who's the best. So that's why I have to say, the best of the best in China, in university in China, came to the United States.
And how many, like, what percentile would you say that was?
In my college, as I said, my college was the top college in China.
Yeah, maybe 0.1%
I would say
of people.
No. I think about 20%. It's a lot.
Wait, but only how many people can get into the college in the first place?
Get into my college, that's really hard. I will say top like 1%. Top
So 1 in
1%.
100, and then how many of those people could come to America?
About 20%.
All right, so 1 in like 500 people.
Yes, right.
Wow.
Could come to the United States.
So that's why, really,
yeah.
You might think Asians are so smart. Maybe we're not. It's just the only people who can get here are the smartest ones, I guess.
Yeah, are highly selected.
Highly selected, yeah.
Yes, I have to say, yeah.
And there's more than that. That's not the only way to get to America, right?
Actually, I have to say, before 10 years ago, things start to change.
Why?
More kids. I think probably Chinese have more money.
Okay.
And the private schools here or public school here, they need money. So they start to take more college students. Not just, we never came here. Back my age.
Yeah, but still for education.
We never came here. Well, we never came here for college. We always came here for graduate school because we need full scholarship. Otherwise, we can't survive. And actually, the American embassy won't give us visa either. Without full scholarship, come on, forget it.
So now people are getting paid.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now people
or not getting paid, but they have money.
They have money to come here for college. They can spend tens of thousands of dollars, $100,000 just to go to college. So they have the money. Speaking of the money wise thing, actually, I might be richer in China if I stayed there.
Really?
If I didn't come here, that will. My first job, if I didn't come here, I got a job offer already, was an investment bank. Okay. And back then, China was very, very mild country, and the housing price is okay. So when I graduate, like my generation, I always housing boom. Exactly. So I'm gonna buy one for myself and buy one for my parents, and maybe my husband will buy one for his parents. I'll buy 1 or 2 more for my kids. Just, in China, a man probably won't get married if he doesn't have a house.
Are you basically saying the house market was...
Exactly. The house market just goes up so fast. One house in China, one apartment in China right now, apartment 1,000 square feet apartment, will cost probably, let's see, close to $300,000. Like very small, super small apartment.
Wow, okay.
In China. Very small. Wait, I think 300,000 is too little. It's about I would say close to $1 million. Yeah, 1 million.
How much is 1,000 square feet?
1,000 square feet?
I don't really know.
Oh,
I have no scale for that.
Like your house is what? It's like 3,000 something square feet. Like our house is.
So like my house is about as big as your previous house.
Yeah, so it's about 1/3. No, actually 1/6. 1/6 of your house. 1/6 of your house. Okay. It's about $1 million in Shanghai.
Wow. Today.
Center of Shanghai, today. But back then, probably cost, I will say.
Okay, well that's kind of not. You're kind of cheating here. Like, would you have actually bought all those houses for no reason? Like, you're saying you buy one for every single person you know. You wouldn't have actually done that. That's
a lot of my
that's crap. I don't believe
classmates in Shanghai, they did it.
I don't believe it though.
Because I was in Shanghai. Because the tradition in China is people have to have house. They don't rent.
But would you buy one for every single body?
I buy one for parents because they gonna live.
And then you said like one for your uncle, one for your brother,
one for my kids, like for my son,
for your future kids.
Yeah, because people get married and then they have kids very soon, right? Yeah, so they're gonna get one, and some buy one for investment, like 1 or 2. That's very normal, right? So very typical. My friends have at least like 4 houses, 3 to 4 houses, like not apartments. So that's why a lot of kids come to the United States. They don't worry about money. Their parents can just sell one house. But I have to say, I never regret coming here. If I stay in China, China has something called one-child policy. Nathan will never be born.
But only Michael was born. You can get past that, right? One-child policy?
You have to pay a lot of fine. If you work for government, you're gonna be fired.
Wow. Okay. And
you have to hide
Wait, that one-child policy is still. Like,
one-child policy, they let it go like 2 years ago. Yeah, because China was in charge of the population.
That's how the world population.
Yeah, because if you think like 2 people every group pair of people only has one kid, it's gonna have
Right.
half, right?
Yeah, but
Is
the
that how it
problem
works?
is like as societies get richer, they'll choose to have
not to
fewer
have
kids.
yeah,
Too.
exactly.
Really?
So
Okay.
Yeah.
America,
Japan.
is the easier example.
Yes.
They have like a replacement rate of one person per family. So
Okay.
people in Japan choose to have like one child.
So every
Right.
two people, every couple only has one kid on average.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And
what you're saying.
populations across the developed world are all shrinking, other than in America from immigration.
Right.
Why?
Everywhere else is shrinking because
Right.
people don't choose to have enough kids.
Is that a really like a rich thing, or is a wealth thing, or is that like a culture thing? You think?
As any society gets wealthier, they have
Really?
fewer and fewer kids. So it's happening in
Really?
India and China
So
and
population.
Africa.
So population overgrowth, guys and gals. So Andrew's saying you're fake, right? Is that
Yeah, the
Yeah.
10 billionth person will never be born. You can hear that
Really?
lots and lots of places.
10 billion? Hot take right here. What are we at right now? 7.6 billion? 7.7?
I think 7.8.
7.8.
Sure.
I remember. Okay, we're at 7.8 billion, and what? It's grown like double in the past 50 years or something. Not double, like
Maybe.
a couple billion in the past decades, right?
Yep.
You don't think it's gonna get to 10 billion? That's like 2.2 billion.
It won't get to 11 billion.
Won't get to
That's
11
what all
billion.
the people say who have done research on it.
Wow, it's like done deal. Everybody thinks that.
From what I understand,
Okay.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one child policy. Yeah, I think that's right. One child policy was in China since the year my brother was born. Your uncle was born, like 1978. They started to put in place very hard rule until like a couple years ago they lifted off. Seeing how long it is.
Just a couple years
40
ago.
years.
You know, it was like 2017, something like that.
40 years.
Oh, okay.
40 years in China. Only every family is only allowed to have one child.
It's insane.
My friend, my college friend, actually both I have 5 roommates in college, girls. We live together.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people, yes. They too. I was in America. I'm here, and 2 are in China. They both have 2 kids. How could they have 2 kids?
They paid for it?
Oh well, actually, one was
They
because
stuck.
both her and her husband work for private sector, so they pay the fine. A lot of
How
fine.
much? Do you know?
I think it's 100,000 Chinese.
So I don't know how much. What percent of your salary?
Probably I will say I will say 10 times of your 10 times of your annual salary.
What?
The average annual salary?
Yeah, average.
Oh, 10 times the average annual salary.
Yes.
Okay.
So
these guys are super rich, anyways.
They're just they work for Huawei company, so it's not really super rich. They're okay. But they want a second child. They really want another roommate.
So
she had 2 child too, and she just pretended she was sick, so she went back to her hometown, and then stayed there until the child was born. And then she came back. And they live in like very rural area of the city, so nobody knows she had a second child.
Wow.
So until a couple years ago, they opened up, and then
so it's getting better.
She didn't get hugely penalized for that.
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
Because she was not telling people.
But like once she opened up now, it wasn't a problem that she broke the law in the past.
No, they don't care anymore.
Wow. Did somebody change? Like, did the president change or something? Is that why?
The president changed, President changed. Deng Xiaoping.
No, I know but is that why it just?
No, that's not why. Because they realized that the population in China was in trouble.
So what I'm hearing is China getting better? Like
the one-child policy was I think it was a foolish decision, and they realized after 40 years it was a mistake. So they were trying to correct the mistake, because otherwise China will be in huge trouble. There is not enough young people to support older people, and the whole society will break down. Think about that, right? So they were, they realized, okay, here's a problem. They tried to fix it.
What was like the most messed up thing, or like the craziest thing that you saw happen in China, that you witnessed happen in China? Maybe like from the government, or just like at all.
Okay, one crazy thing, because I've been here for so long, like 25 years. Yeah. I haven't been back. So I was back, but I haven't been living there for a long time. One crazy thing is, in China, they block everything.
What do you mean?
Like in China, you cannot use Google. You cannot watch YouTube. you cannot use Gmail, you cannot use Instagram, you cannot use Facebook.
Yeah.
They have a wall, and they're trying to block information in this information world.
Yeah.
You know, now this world is full information world, but they're trying to block information. You know, so that's one thing I think is crazy, in my opinion. And even we have something called WeChat, and in a one WeChat group, we have people from China, from America. The sensor is so smart that some messages can be only seen for the people who are in America.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's obviously crazy. Like nowadays, people in China, with still good technology, right? Like they have iPhones and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
They can't access Google, YouTube,
right?
Yeah, that's crazy. But like, I'm saying like an experience, like something that happened to you. Was there anything
happened to me
crazy? Like, did you see? I don't know. Yeah, or that you saw something happen.
The years I grew up, I didn't see anything crazy because the years I grew up between 1973 to the year I left in 1991, I think were the best years in China. Deng Xiaoping, President Deng Xiaoping opened up to China. Okay. We can see the world. There's no filter, no block.
But what was Tiananmen? Was it?
Oh, that's 1989.
So you were there.
I was there, but I was only a high school junior. No, actually sophomore. I was only a sophomore, so I didn't really know much. And then
high school sophomore. I'm basically a high school sophomore.
Yeah, but in China, I have no interest in politics.
Okay.
And people don't really teach us politics.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what was going on. And then the whole thing was just covered up because you can't really see.
Oh, Tiananmen, really?
Oh yeah, of course. Nobody can see the videos.
Did you know? What's that called in English?
My friend went there.
It's called something square.
Tiananmen Square. Yeah.
Tiananmen Square. Oh yeah, no, I'm saying Tiananmen.
You all are pronouncing it properly, I guess.
Yeah, it's Tiananmen Square.
How do you pronounce it?
Tiananmen or something.
Tiananmen.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's Tiananmen Square.
Well, we're talking about whatever you Tianamen Square.
Yeah.
Tiananmen exactly. Square.
Yeah.
It was that one thing that Taylor Swift got in super big trouble for, if you remember that.
Well, and if this video gonna be filtered, definitely nobody's gonna watch it in China if you mention this word.
Wow.
This word. So
Tiananmen Square.
So it's a very sensitive thing in China. That's actually
no. I mean, how many people were for people who aren't familiar with it? I don't even know actually. How many people were killed that day?
Actually, I don't know. It's a lot of most of our college students in Beijing and
really. So they're college students.
All over the country. Even my friends in my college, because I was in high school. So the college I was going to, a lot of my friends, my alumni went to Beijing. And actually some people in our church, he went through the whole thing. He was in Beijing. He was a teacher in Beijing. And he was going back. One of his students actually died. Wow. And he was running from Tiananmen Square to his dorm, and he saw people just laying on the ground.
Wow. So, okay, I researched
that's a real
this.
Story.
This is my understanding of Tiananmen Square. I'm not completely sure what happened. So a bunch of college students were in this busy square protesting against the communist government. Right?
Yeah, they're protesting for freedom, freedom. Yeah. So, just for the change of the country.
Okay, so a good, reasonable cause.
Yeah.
They weren't, of course.
No,
they weren't. Where they weren't being violent or anything.
No.
They was protesting.
Right.
And it looks like so this source BBC says at least 10,000 people.
That might be right, because
at least 10,000 people.
Because they drove the tank, military tank.
Yep.
Wow. So
they didn't use the.
There was a square. It was a congested area. Everyone was really packed in, right?
Yes, it's a square, just like then, in New York, the Times Square.
Yeah, I guess we can put up a picture if we can do that.
Yeah.
And they had a row of tanks, right?
Yeah, they had those tanks. Yeah, just the army tanks. Yeah.
Mow them down like grass, kind of.
I think so. I wasn't there.
I don't know.
I wasn't there, but there are more people. There are people in our church. Our very good friend. He experienced both of them. The couple experienced the whole thing, and saw with their own eyes. So that's actually after the Tiananmen Square event. A lot of people decided to come to the United States. They were kind of disappointed.
Well,
they
obviously.
never realized. They never realized I'm going to do this to the college students without unarmed. college
Yeah.
students
Wow.
who are doing peaceful protests.
So when did you realize you wanted to come to America?
I actually never wanted to come to America. It's I was dating my husband in college, and
Okay.
he always wanted to come to America.
Oh,
Then
okay.
what?
So it's
Do I have a
dad.
choice? I don't have a choice.
So dad was a smart one.
No,
Really?
because,
I'm not kidding.
because I grew up. No, I went to high school in Shanghai. Shanghai is a very big city full of opportunities.
Okay.
I don't have to leave China.
But dad was born.
Oh, he was born
a
in
small
Anhui
village.
province. It's smaller. Yeah,
Small village.
It's kind of not really like poor province.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in high school in Shanghai. I saw this big city and full of opportunities. I don't have to leave China.
Yeah.
But Dad wanted to come. So
Why did he want to come? Was he more? I know he's more politically motivated. Was it
I guess so. That's
realize
probably why.
freedom, America?
Yeah, and actually he wanted to go academics. His interest was more in academics, and now my interest was more in back then was like business. My dream, my dream job, you won't believe it, when I was young, like middle school kid or elementary school kid, was a tour guide. I want to be a tour guide. So I didn't have a big dream. I want to be a tour guide. The reason why I want to be a tour guide, because I love English. My best subject was English. In China we have a national college entrance exam.
And you have to know English?
Oh yeah, you have to know English. Yes.
Wow.
And this 3 days exam will decide the future of a child, of a kid.
Yep.
So of a student, basically. If you fail, then you're done. You're done, basically. You have no opportunities. So 3 days exam, and I almost got perfect score on English only.
Is that
Other ones
that's called
good.
It's called like the Gaokao, right?
Gaokao, exactly.
Yeah.
It's called Gaokao.
Gaokao.
Exactly. If someone's happen to be sick, he's screwed.
So it's like
fixed date. There's
it's
not
the
like
only
ACT.
test.
That's
the only test.
Yes.
And only one day.
Only 3 days.
How old do you
3
take it?
days.
Like a junior in high school?
No, senior.
Senior
the
in high
end
school?
of senior high school.
Wow.
Yes.
And that decides if you can get into college or if you're
Yeah,
a rice
what kind of
farmer.
college?
Much more so than it does even here.
Yes.
Or if if you do bad, then you're a rice farmer.
Actually, my cousin, he just the thing is ACT here you got 35, 36, or 31. It's all across the country the
35
same
2.5,
right?
35 5. 0.25 difference. It's not 35, it's not 36.
You got 35.
You got 35 5. I got a 35 2.5.
So anyway, in China, the thing is, my cousin just in different city. You probably won't believe it. In like for example, where Daddy went to college, in the city he was, I went to college from Shanghai. The tests were different. We took different tests, and the criteria to go into the same college, my college, were also different. So Daddy had to spend probably triple the effort to get into college compared to me.
And he got into the top school still?
Yeah, the same. Yeah,
the tests were different. The criteria were different.
Yes.
Wait, was like Dad's test harder, and then he needed to get a. Dad's test. Like the test was actually harder, and he still needed to get a higher score.
Yes.
So it wasn't that the test was easier and he needed a higher score.
No.
It was actually much harder for him.
Much harder for him.
Why? Because he was from a small village.
He's from a province that's kind of poor.
I see.
And I'm from Shanghai.
Wow. So it's like the opposite of today, kind of, in America.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so like it's easier, or it's a big advantage to be from a poor background, right? Yeah, you can get into more colleges.
Yeah,
so it's the opposite back then.
Yes.
Why? That's so why?
Actually, I never thought about it.
It's not easier to get in if you're poor.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
merit is.
You're right. It's not easier, but like
you can get more rewards.
But you can
get more
the thing
rewards.
is, your score, you can score lower. For example, if you are better off, you have to score really high in CT, but you probably don't have to score as high to go into the same college, right? But in China, it's different.
Yeah, but the point is, in China, it's completely opposite.
Completely different.
That's weird.
You have to score a lot higher score.
Yep.
More difficult tests to get into college.
Is there a thinking behind that?
I never thought about it. I guess I don't know. Maybe they think people who are richer are smarter. I don't know. You think?
Probably. I
mean, what's the test for?
Well, they still need the test.
Yeah.
That's probably
why
right now.
Why can't the test just...
I guess.
Because still some, not as intelligent kids who are rich, right? The rich kids. So they still need to test. But
No, I mean, that's not quite what I meant. I meant, like, why not just rely on the test? Because it's going to do a better job measuring than how rich someone is. But
the thing is, for one college, you cannot take all the kids from Shanghai or from any province. It has a fixed quota.
Oh,
There's a quota.
Okay.
For Shanghai, I take 20. For Anhui province, we'll take 50. But a lot of more kids in Anhui province want to go to this college. A lot more kids.
Yep.
They give the same, for example, same quota as they give to Shanghai, and Shanghai has a lot of less kids want to go to college. So it's not as competitive.
So Dad wanted to be a scientist, right? From the very beginning?
Yeah, he always wanted to go to America.
To be a scientist?
Yes, since he was like in high school.
So you all came here for him to go to grad school?
He came here for grad school. I came here for grad school too, yes.
Yeah, at UCLA, right?
UCLA, yes.
Right, yeah, UCLA legacy.
Yeah, that's how we came here.
Brian got offered, or he got into UCLA.
Yeah,
right?
but he didn't go.
Why didn't he go? Isn't UCLA better than Georgia Tech?
Overall ranking, yes, but not CS.
Not CS. Okay,
CS, Georgia Tech is a lot better.
Engineering.
Yes. And plus, he doesn't like UCLA because UCLA over there, there's so many Asian kids right now. There's so many Chinese kids. They all look so cool. You know, all those fancy shoes, fancy clothes, expensive clothes. And Brian was like, "Oh wait, I thought I was pretty cool." And then when he went there, oh okay. Well, I'm just joking. But I guess it's too far. The Ramirez is too far from here. He doesn't want to go, all the way to West Coast. It's so hard to come back. Right now, he can drive back.
Same thinking for me to some extent.
Yeah. So,
and we were here. Rachel was here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the main reason. Even though UCLA actually is the best public school ranked public school right now. It's even overall ranking is higher than
Berkeley's
Berkeley.
private. Oh, Berkeley's public.
They're all UC.
Wow.
Yeah, but overall ranking, not just specific subject. Like CS still Berkeley is better than UCLA, but overall ranking UCLA is really good.
Yeah. So Dad wanted to be a scientist. You said you want to be a tour guide, but you also maybe wanted
I want to be a tour guide because I want to speak English.
Okay, but past that, in high school,
you just speak English all the time.
That's right.
And your English is good. Like I know a lot of Chinese parents like have really strong accents or can't even speak.
It's hard because the main reason, one of the important reasons, is because I went to high school in Shanghai. Shanghai is such a big city. I started to learn those special English class since high school.
I guess it's
I talk with foreigners. I talk with people from US in high school. Yeah. So when younger you are, the faster you learn.
Yeah, I guess be like me right now. Like I don't know, moving to Spain or something and having to speak Spanish, I wouldn't ever be able to be fluent. I don't think.
Yeah,
you would.
I probably would.
Okay, yeah, high school's still young age. Yes. But the thing is, it's funny that when I came to the United States, right? Even in China, I learned English. I could speak fine. But there's no way to the point that I could, say, teach. But when I came to UCLA, because I got full scholarship, and I had to be a TA, teaching assistant.
Yep.
Yeah.
And before I went to have my own, I went to my own class, to be taught. I had to teach the undergrads.
Yeah.
In the first class I went to teaching the undergrad, guess what I did?
What?
I wrote down every single sentence I'm going to say. Because I didn't know.
Wow.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Like you went to Spain. You had to teach in Spanish.
I'm taking AP Spanish right now. It's terrible. It's so bad.
I'd be petrified. Yeah.
So I had to teach, and I had to answer questions when the students raised questions. So I wrote down every single thing I could imagine I'm going to say. And then when the students came up to talk to me, I have to say, can you speak slowly? Because I just got into the country, just started school. Before my first class, I had to give the lesson to other students.
Did people get frustrated with you?
In the beginning was a little bit, In the beginning was, it was.
I could see myself, obviously for terrible reason, someone just came from China, but I could see myself.
And back then there was no iPhone, there was nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
And what were you teaching? Economics, right?
No. I came to graduate school in chemistry and biochemistry.
And you
I was a TA.
What? You have degrees in what?
I had degrees. Well, I was in a PhD program for chemistry and biochemistry, and then I was pregnant with Michael.
And then you dropped
I had to quit.
Okay.
So I got a master. and I transferred to economics. I want to get a PhD degree in economics.
Okay.
And then after the second year in economics department, someone offered me a job. Say you want to work or not. Coming to the United States, the sole goal is to find a job.
Wait, offered you a job in what?
In computer science, actually, because I was an intern. I was an intern for him, and then he asked me to do some programming. So I learned on the side. So I could program. So I said, hey, I have a programming job for you. You want to take it or not? If you take it, I had to quit the PhD program for economics. So you know what? We were planning to have a second child, which is Brian. Okay, I'm gonna quit. So I went up to the economic department. The secretary said I was gonna quit. Wow. She was so surprised because I got full scholarship in economics department.
How far into it were you? It's a 4-year
program. 1
more year. Right? Wow, it's a 4-year. PhD is a 4-year program.
Yes, but I finished all the required tests in both departments.
How tough was that, knowing you had 1 more year till you had a PhD?
The thing is, what's the point of a PhD? What's my goal?
I mean, I guess there's like status to it, right? Like you dress as doctor, address as doctor.
Yeah, you can ask me Dr. Yu, right? Dr. Yu, back then I haven't changed my name yet, Dr. Yu. But then what?
I mean,
Yeah, so, speaking, I never regret giving up in the PhD
So what,
program.
those 3 years? So wait, how long were you in the PhD program for biology or chemistry?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
So 2 years of that, and then you quit. 3 years of economics, and you quit.
Yeah, I quit.
So what? Right. 5 years of wasted?
No, not wasted.
Not wasted. Why is not wasted?
Because I got my first job because I was in the PhD program in economics department. So I was interning in the business school. It's called Anderson School in UCLA. It's a very good business school.
Okay.
Anderson School. I was interning there because I was a student in the PhD program in economics department. They were together.
Did you actually get any degrees, like masters? Or
I got 2 masters.
In what?
1 economics, 1 chemistry.
So you got a master's in economics and chemistry.
So I have an MS and MA. Got Master of Science and Master of Art.
And then you went to computer science.
My full-time job is computer science, yes. Computer programming, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's funny that I was going to get a computer science master when after Brian was born, because my work in the national lab paid everything. Paid whole tuition, the books, everything. And then my husband was joking that, hey, if you get one more master, you're going to be a 3M. You know 3M? That's a company called 3M.
No.
Oh, you never learned. 3M is a huge company who make the disc. Back then there was no CD to make disc. So it's gonna be a 3M, but I didn't finish it.
Wow.
Yeah, because programming don't really need a degree if you know how to program.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. So, what? Growing up super poor, came to America by testing really well, got masters, tried to get PhD, then get a job, and now what? Very well off, right? So how much of that do you attribute to your hard work, and then how much of that do you attribute to your talent, just your natural, just what God gave you?
I always said that I'm a very hardworking person. Okay. But I think hardworking is more than my talents. Yes. I told everybody I worked really hard when I was younger, in school, because my hobby was to study.
Really?
Yeah, I just remember the English. I love English. Since I was in elementary school, we started to learn English in 5th grade. I started to write journals in English. So I just love this language. I just have passion for it. That's why I want to be a tour guide, because that's the only career I could see back then. I could speak English.
That just sounds so crazy. Like, nobody here, I guarantee, if you're listening and you're learning another language, Spanish, French, Chinese, anything, and you love it so much that you write journals in that language, reach out to me, please. That's like, was that just you, or like a lot of people like that?
I think I was very unique.
Okay.
Remember, it's fun. I remember this. I love this language so much. The thing is, vocabularies are very important, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I have a deck of cards, like small, always carry in my pocket. Even when I line up for the cafeteria, we have to line up. I start to memorize the vocabulary.
Were you bullied?
Wow.
Were you bullied?
No.
You weren't bullied?
No, I were not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I was very sure.
I'm not. Okay, I don't want to be mean, but I feel like, you know, if I saw you and I was in high school,
You
I would definitely pull it. I don't know.
because back then, if you're a good student, no one there to do anything to you.
Oh, okay.
Because you're a teacher's pet. You know, here it's different.
Yeah.
You're a teacher's pet, then maybe, you know, people bully
I
you.
guess-
But in China,
So like you were kind of the modern day, or like today in America's like the D1 athlete or something, like star football player or something like that.
probably, yes.
I guess.
At school, you're the star.
Yeah.
You're the superstar in school if you are a good student with good grades.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that is right. So that's how much I love this language. I deeply love this language. One of my dreams, actually, because I love languages overall. When I have time to retire, I may learn other languages like Japanese, Spanish, because I want to go travel.
Do you know any other languages right
No,
now?
I never had a chance to learn them thoroughly
Mm-hmm.
with 4 kids and full-time job.
Yeah.
But,
Do you know any of any other languages? ¿Hablas español?
No, I never learned Spanish. No. No, not any other languages. But I would love to. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, because I'm different.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's
Okay.
not everyone's
She's
like
different.
that in China. Yes. Yeah, but I really don't like math and science, to be honest. So it's interesting that Nathan's math is really good. He must take it from his dad.
Yeah. But none of us. I have 3 siblings. None of us are interested in what my dad does at all.
Yeah, you're just good at it. But
And actually, next week, right? I think this is dropping Sunday. So next episode, we're gonna have Michael, first child, kind of,
firstborn,
kind of like rebellious.
very rebellious.
Very rebellious. How many times did he get arrested?
You can ask him.
I can ask him. Okay, we'll see. He got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And now it's a Wolf of Wall Street, I guess. 3 years now? 4 years?
2 years only.
He's been at Wall Street in 2 years.
Only 2 years, and become right now he's associate. I think in the private equity.
Private equity, yeah.
Yes.
So like Shark Tank, if you watch that, it's kind of what he does. Kind of.
Kind of like that,
Kind of.
yes. Yeah, and see what companies have potential, and buy the company.
Yeah.
Or buy shares in the company?
Maybe, buy shares. Yes, buy shares or just buy the whole company. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And he
very
also just finished a marathon.
Finished New York marathon
runner.
Yeah.
26 miles. And
And he's the in the Little League baseball when he was 12.
Okay.
It was the star, pitcher.
Yeah. Good in Little League. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he started partying too much. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay.
That would be
Okay.
my first guess.
Okay.
Based off of you. Nathan's the record holder in the state in the 100 fly by like 2 seconds, which is for a 12-year-old, which is like a massive margin.
12-year-old record holder.
Nathan won like every event at state as a 12-year-old.
That's kind of insane as a 12-year-old. Those are my glory days.
That's still pretty good. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm not complaining now. But what? I was like, everyone says, I always say I was number 1 in the country in the 2 fly for 2 months.
And no one believes
No one believes me. Everyone says it was like 2 days, even though I was the person that checked every single day. I was there for like, maybe it wasn't 2 months. It was at least a month.
It was 2 days, man.
I don't know. I checked every day. I saw my name up there. And I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But
first place 12-year-old
Yeah.
in the 2 fly for some period of time.
I was first place for a time. So I can say I was first place. And in the 1 fly, so in another swimming event, I was first place. I don't know how long, but 12-year-old
cool.
Nathan, beast.
12-year-old Andrew, absolutely terrible at swimming.
I probably would lap him in a 200.
that might be true.
I'd be close, yeah. So
now I've got him.
He's older than me. Also, 6 inches taller than me. 6 inches,
That's
right?
a pretty big thing.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I'm catching up, really. Short course.
See.
Yeah, you're about to go pretty fast, but catching up to you from last year. I think I'm about, at this point, I might be better. I think I'm better.
Might be, yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
How do you like your computer science job now?
Oh, okay.
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
What do you do?
Program.
Okay, Mom.
How much?
Program. How much? Well, I have a full-time job programming, so it's a full-time job. But the good thing I love it is flexible. I love to be flexible, and you can choose when you want to work.
Yeah, because I think if anybody really knows me or Megan or any of my siblings, like, my mom is always available. You really don't work that much, do you? Like, how many hours a day do you think you work on average?
Well, the good thing is it's flexible. I can work after you go to
like,
bed.
in total?
Probably a couple hours.
Couple hours.
Yes, and then the good thing also is
What's a couple hours?
You can decide how much you want to work, because you can go to very prestigious companies like Google or Facebook. You work a lot and earn a lot of money. Or you can be just like me. I prefer to stay home, take care of the kids. I find an easier job.
How many hours would you say? Would you get in trouble for this?
I will. That's what I'm not saying.
Really? That's funny.
Well,
hopefully.
the thing is, for example, I can bring my laptop to the swimming meet the past weekend.
Yeah.
I was a door marshal.
Would you also get in trouble for that too?
No, it's the weekend, right? It's during the weekend, so I can still work over the weekend. I finish a lot of work over there because I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I sit there and work on my project. So my day is not swimming. So that's good. I love the flexibility of being a computer science programmer.
So how many hours? You say you're not allowed to say exactly how many hours?
Why is that?
Is there like a minimum standard, like you have to work?
No, because I have a full-time job. It's 40 hours per week.
40 hours a week. So I guess I can't.
But for example, for Michael's job, he earns a lot. That's true. But he has to work like 80 hours per week.
We're not allowed to say any numbers, are we?
No.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, no.
But you can see, right? Because I'm
Wall Street.
when Nathan needs someone to pick him up, I can pick him up, or drop him somewhere. I can drop him off somewhere. So my job is very flexible as long as I finish my project.
Are you allowed to talk about what your project is?
Oh, my project is simple. It's the jury system. When you are selected, when you turn 18,
like
you can be a juror. Now the Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Those 11, 12 jurors.
Like the court, okay.
The courts, the government court, the federal government courts and state government courts. Yeah, we select the jurors, and they can say, oh, okay, I want to go, I cannot go, I don't speak English, or I'm on vacation, or I'm a student. So they need to submit the questionnaire, say, can I be excused? So I do those programming thing for the whole federal government.
Really?
Wow.
For the whole United States federal government courts. Yeah.
So it's like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. Yeah. And there are so many questions to ask a juror when he was selected.
It's something you never really would think of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of things. So it's interesting. Yeah, and things change a lot. So I have to make changes to programming because now new technology used not to have iPhone or a tablet. Now I have to add programming to support the iPhone, the tablets, mobile devices. I have to add kiosk functionalities. People are using kiosks.
Okay. So, one thing I wanted to talk about also, like, real quick before we wrap up.
Yeah. We need to leave soon. Actually.
Yeah. The metaverse. You know that word? Metaverse?
Yeah. It's by what the China is actually saying that, right?
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with it, the metaverse is kind of the idea that in the future, maybe in like 20 years or something, we're gonna live in a world like a virtual reality world, basically. Virtual reality driven world. Where we're gonna have like different lives that are just completely electronic. And our electronic lives are gonna matter like just as much or if not more than our real physical lives. Like that's the idea of the metaverse.
Is that what Elon Musk was talking about?
Yeah, Elon Musk. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, and the Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, this isn't just a stupid idea. Facebook changed its name to Meta to try to be a bigger part of this future metaverse.
Yeah,
like, what do you?
That's why I never want to buy or drive a autopilot car.
Okay.
Because electronic world, because I'm a programmer.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think, close to impossible to program a perfect program.
Okay. Yeah.
There's always defects or bugs. We call it bugs.
The problem with
always
sorry.
very hard. So and it's us who program stuff. So it's human are the ones who create those things. And now people want to live in a world that's you created. I never, I always believe in people, not those electronic devices or those AI. They are just tools. You work for you, but they're not going to dominate our world. It is, I think, the most complicated things in the whole world that are created were humans. Are humans.
Of course.
Our
Human
brain,
mind.
there's nothing. There's nothing that can be comparable to our brain.
Yeah.
Or even to our heart. So I never believe this electronic world or those virtual world will become dominant.
So you don't think this hype is?
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
I always believe the most complicated thing ever created is human. So nothing can be more complicated than human.
I think so I agree with you, but I also see the other point in the other side, and the main point for the other side is really look like 30 years ago, right? Like iPhone, like you're not gonna see an iPhone anywhere. People waiting in the train or whatever, you're not gonna see any electronics. But nowadays, you go anywhere, people are engrossed in every sort of electronic, like earbuds always in, iPhone, iPad, TV showing somewhere, just something. Like probably the majority of our time is spent looking at some type of electronic. And like if that change has happened in 20, 30 years, like there has to be change in the next 20 to 30 years too. Like how far does that go? I guess. Right?
Yeah. The one scary thing actually right now happening, as far as I know, was the COVID thing. They're doing in America, it's fine. You could just show the paper-based COVID ID, right? Yeah. I went to New York, went to a restaurant to eat with Michael after his marathon. I was asked to show my COVID ID. Okay. Vaccine to be able to eat there. Of course, the waiter said, "I'm sorry, I had to do this." They asked me to do this.
Okay. What does that have to do with this?
And we have only paper one, right? In China,
it's based off Face ID.
One.
Wow. Yeah.
It's on your phone. It's in your phone. You have it. If your phone become red, like they know where you go. You go to a place that has, for example, New York is a high risk area. Yeah. If you've been in New York, like me, New York and come back to Kentucky, I wasn't able to go anywhere. I have to stay home for like a long time because they know where I am. They know exactly track you.
If you were in China, that would happen.
Where you were, and also if you're close to someone who tested positive.
Yeah. So everything is literally
was tracked. Is being tracked.
But you still don't think like.
But here right now the thing is, at least we're not tracked because of this. But they were trying to they're proposing like COVID vaccine ID or something. Yeah. Right? So are they gonna do a database? Put our data in the database and put something up? I don't know. It's just something I don't like. People being tracked, and then you lose freedom.
You don't like it, but you still don't think it's a possibility.
Depending on the people. I think this country gonna be harder because people love freedom.
I think also it's not really a freedom part. Like I don't think it'll be like
privacy.
I don't think it'll be the government forcing you to have like this electronic identity, but I think it'll be like people will want to do it. People are like we're gonna create things that are so stimulating that people are gonna want to do, want to have like a electronic identity or something. Like think about 20 years ago, the games back then.
Yeah.
No one. I mean, people will play them, but. Yeah, they're just normal games, right? Yeah. Think about the games today. How so many people are so addicted.
Yeah. That's true.
These like super complex games, like so addicted.
Right.
Like how much better, much more stimulating those games have become, and like how much more stimulating we're going to be in the future.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, actually. Yeah. I don't like to go this far. The world goes that far when people are forced or voluntarily or involuntarily to go into this being tracked world.
tracked. Yeah, because everything electronic.
Yeah, because nowadays, right, everyone has a phone.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess when you
talk
say
about this later on.
Yeah. But one real quick thing before we wrap up, before we end this, when you say voluntary or involuntary, I was gonna say, like, do you think there will also be a point where, obviously, we voluntarily pick up our phones and play our games and stuff, where things could be so stimulating?
Yeah.
Basically, to the point where, like, it's so hard to avoid being addicted to a video game or something, where it's basically involuntary. So, like, in the future, we're gonna have this device where, you can buy it if you want, you can play it if you want.
Yeah.
But it's so addicting.
People are gonna choose to. Is the theory.
Yeah. People are gonna choose to buy it.
Right.
Just because people choose to buy the new iPhone and they get addicted. But in the future, it's gonna be so addicting. It's gonna be like a trap, basically.
It's possible. I have to say it's possible. Yeah. And it's coming.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And we'll see it. I mean, they're predicting maybe
facial recognition,
20, 30 years. Yeah. We're going to be so involved in the electronic world, it's going to be just as important as the real physical world. It's crazy to think about, but I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay, so next week we'll have Wall Street businessman on and talk to him about, I don't know, party life in New York City. I don't know. Being an investment banker on Wall Street. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, so make sure you smash that like button or subscribe button.
Okay.
If you like the podcast, and we'll be back at you next week.
Okay.
Hey, so if you made it this far somehow, please just consider leaving a comment with anything you didn't like or anything that you did like, so we can look over, and Andrew and I will read over all of them.